What? What the f? What's up guys, Gacha Gaming here, back with another video. So today we're going to actually be talking about something real quick, which is basically teams. As of now, I really want to be able to sort of do videos for you guys, the ones who are watching, and kind of make it as quick as possible and to the point, instead of like dragging on for like 10 minutes or 30 minutes. So obviously before we start, a disclaimer: obviously my thoughts are my thoughts and your thoughts are your thoughts. If you choose to summon for the character, obviously summon for the character. If you don't want to summon for the character, you're more than welcome not to summon for the character and save. But with that said, let's hop into the video. So today we're going to be talking about basically teams, and I've tested a few teams with Acheron. I've actually managed, obviously my previous videos, anyone can see, I managed to get her and her light cone, and I will not lie, 100% from a free-to-play perspective, this character dominates the meta right now. Honestly, dominates the meta. And the reason why is because, one, she brings a lot of team flexibility to your account, because you can basically, especially if you're like E1, or rather, sorry, not E1, E0, you can basically run Nihility teams on your first kind of team for your stage, and then for your second stage, you can basically now go all your buffers with now maybe your other main DPS. And that's what enables her to, I think, as a free-to-play, that what she brings to the table in terms of team flexibility. So obviously, again, this video is going to be talking about mostly the what I think specifically is the best teams that she can have. So we'll start off obviously with team 1, Kafka and Black Swan. Now this team, I think I want people to understand that Kafka and Black Swan are DPSs to begin with. So they're not really enablers or buffers of the Nihility path. A good Nihility buffer, obviously, or rather characters who bring out the Nihility DPS output, is now someone like Luca, Gonaifen, Pela, or even Welt in some cases. So what I think is that Kafka and Black Swan are good, yes, no problem, but are only good in the space where you just want to deal as much damage as you can from all three aspects. You want damage from Acheron, you want damage from Kafka, and you want damage from Black Swan. So in terms of damage numbers, you're always going to see basically just more damage numbers in terms of individuality, not in terms of overall. You're giving Acheron all the buffs, and this is where the difference comes in. Because if you put her with a Kafka and a Black Swan, you know, Black Swan is dealing a ton of damage from her Arcana, and then you have Kafka, who blows up everyone's DOT, which again also deals a lot of damage in its own right. And then obviously you have Acheron that comes in and then basically sweeps in, deals that amount of about 230 to 305 worth of damage, and you're pretty much sorted. And that's how it's kind of going. So in terms of teams, I would not make Kafka and Black Swan my go-to team, or rather my first team. Now, what I've found as the as a second okay team, but I would not say the most optimal team, is actually a Welt and a Pela. So now this is on the second kind of now faction in terms of teams. So what I'd say is a Pela and a Welt with an Acheron is good, but I still do not feel that Welt brings out as much utility for Acheron. So I feel like it's kind of on the same boat as a Kafka and Black Swan, where Kafka, Black Swan, and Welt kind of do their own damage, and then obviously Welt just slows down people, right? Especially with his ults, so on and so forth, right? And what I think is that Kafka, Black Swan, and Welt do not give that much utility to Acheron to deal that final amount of big daddy damage, if you understand what I'm saying. And obviously, as you can see from now what I'm going to be playing on the video, this is basically a run that took about I think we ended at around 27, 26, or even 26, about 26 cycles. Now that's pretty much it for me. Welt, not the best teammates. Probably yes, Pela 100%. Now that's when we're going to now go to our team 3. Now our team 3, now we're talking about people like Silver Wolf, we're talking about people like Pela, we're talking about people like Luca, Gonaifen, and there's someone else I think I'm missing, like Sampo, right? But now in this case, because this is the people I've tested, we're going to go now with let's say a Kafka and a Pela, or a Pela and a Silver Wolf. Now Pela and Silver Wolf basically, and I kid you not, enable you to defense shred a enemy to the point where, like, I think it's even close to 100% defense shred, right? And then when you're ulting with Acheron, this gives you the ability to basically deal even close to 300,000 damage. And this, might I say, is with a free-to-play light cone. Yes? Well, I wouldn't say free-to-play because you still have to summon to get this. Actually, no, I did the free-to-play light cone. It wasn't the other light cone. It was a break effect light cone. So it wasn't even anything close to matching what Acheron has. So I tested that out, and she was still dealing close to even about 300,000 damage. And then what I actually did was put the light cone on her, and then I did the same run, but with Silver Wolf and Pela, and I was getting close to about 300,000 worth of damage. So I think 100% my thoughts are the fact that Pela and Silver Wolf just bring more utility to Acheron, which allows her to basically deal more damage in the terms of defense shred to the enemy. Whereas someone like Kafka, Black Swan, Welt kind of do their own damage to the enemy, and then Acheron just kind of steps in with her general amounts of big daddy damage, right? And that's pretty much it. Now, when we go to another team comp that I tested was actually Kafka and Kafka and Pela with Acheron. Now, this team, with Kafka having a free to not her light cone, or rather a 4-star light cone, not a free to play because you still have to roll for it, this team actually performed very well. And on MOC12 I actually ended on run 28 for the first section, meaning I had about eight cycles to basically finish the second stage. This team actually works well, and I think it's due to the fact that Kafka deals a lot of damage as it is, but she also enables the amount of stacks that Acheron has to build up really fast. Why? Because Kafka has her follow-up attack, which gives a stack to Acheron. She has the ultimate, which is usually up like every other time, and then obviously you have the skill and basic attack that basically obviously also gives out that DOT. So I think Kafka and Pela are also quite a good team. But my thoughts specifically, if you're going to have a really good team specifically for Acheron, I would specifically suggest I would suggest Pela and Silver Wolf. The reason why is because, or even Luca and Gwenaifen, because both of them do kind of the same thing as Pela and Silver Wolf. They enable the DOT DPS to deal a crazy amount of damage. I don't have any footage of that on MOC because my Nihility account is not to the extent of MOC12 yet. But when I do, when I make it 100%, I'll be posting it. But from what I've tested, even from Simulated Universe, a Pela and a Gwenaifen with an Acheron enables Acheron to deal close to like copian amounts of damage, close to even 500,000, even 600. I hit a 600,000 with a Luca and a Gwenaifen, as opposed to having a Black Swan and a Kafka in the team. And that's, I think, what makes team building for Acheron kind of so dynamic, that you can put in a team that is full of DPS, but you can also put it in a team that enables her specifically to deal a crazy amount of damage, more than what she already is dealing. Apart from that, that's pretty much it. So I've been very tempted so one of my accounts had 235 or 240 polls, and because of the amount of utility that I've seen Acheron brings, I decided to go all in. Just, you know what, I was saving on this account. Let's call it the Ruin May account, because that's actually the account I made specifically for Ruin May. I don't have on any other account, so let's call it the Ruin May account. And I'm just gonna let the video speak for itself. I'm gonna put a montage after I'm done talking. But all in all, I got her E2 and I got her light cone, and I lost the 50-50 only once. So I think that speaks for itself. But apart from that, I hope you guys obviously have a good day. I can see a lot of traction in the videos that I'm doing, and I'm really thankful for the people who are listening to my comments and everything, and I am very thankful for everything that you guys are also doing in terms of supporting my channel and stuff. But with that said, I hope you guys have a good day, have a good evening, and good night.
A few moments later.